a fabulous fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Years ago, when we came to Los Angeles, I really believed that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
What's good? What's good? What's good? We back.
Yo.
Fashionably late. You already know by this time. But we appreciate everybody's patience. Appreciate everybody coming through. Man, we got another great show coming up right now. So hopefully another good conversation. We appreciate, like I said, we appreciate everybody coming through. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that notification. Are we back? I don't know what happened right now. We had some technical difficulties. Man, if you know, you know. Like if you go live, man, anything could happen. Obviously, we just had to deal with some issues, but we appreciate everybody coming. Oh man, we got, as usual, man. The chat. I think we got probably the funniest chat in Raiders YouTube, man, right now, because they are clowning right now.
Clowning, bro.
You clowning. You in the chat right now? Like, what? How are you in the chat? You two places at once right now. Oh my God!
Man,
look, all right.
You know, I have to talk to the people, man. You know.
Hey, I appreciate it. My guy Raider Smoke 89 comes through with the super chat. Man, we gotta show some love to my guy, man. Hey, man, appreciate it. Hey, let's get this thing cracking. Salute y'all. Hey, appreciate you coming through, man. As usual. Hey, James, man, I got you, man. I appreciate you coming through. Man, we had all types of technical difficulties, but we're making it work. Like we said, man, welcome to the 50-50 show, where you can get two perspectives, make up one, 50-50. You know how it is, man. We're going to talk about all things Raiders this week. The NFL Combine. Let's just get into it, man. The NFL Combine is here this week. It started today. Was it official day today?
Today, yes sir, official day today.
Man, so what are your thoughts, man, with the Raiders going into the week, NFL Combine? Man, this is the Raiders' chance to get up close, personal look at some of the top draft prospects. What are your first thoughts on this week?
So man, they're just excited to see all the guys that are going to show up. Tom Telesco, he came up under Bill Polian. They have the old school mentality where they really want to meet guys in person. I think the NFL Combine, or as they call it, the Underwear Olympics. I don't think they so much look at the testing numbers, but they go there to verify whether or not what they see on film is confirmed at the combine. But I think the most important aspect of the NFL Combine is the interview process, and I think that's where teams can really sit down with these prospects and get to know them, and then that can really make or break a guy's draft stock. Some guys go to the combine and they perform really well in interviews, and it improves their stock. We think of Anthony Richardson last year. Some guys go to the combine and they do poorly. We think about my guy, the linebacker out of Alabama, Reuben Foster, who went there and he just went from being a guy that's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick. He's picked at the end of the first round. So not so much looking at the 40s. The 40s are always interesting to see.
Man,
but
Reuben Foster, man, I thought he was going to be the next great linebacker, man. It's just he has so many issues off the field, man. That dude was a monster. And it's crazy with the Niners too, especially like they went from like Bowman, that linebacker crew with Bowman and
DeVar Bowman,
and the guy he just made the Hall of Fame this year. I think
Patrick Willis.
Patrick Willis. I think he was one of the finalists. I think he's did they make him? Is he going in the Hall of Fame this year? He was one of the.
I know Antonio Gates didn't. I know Antonio Gates didn't, which was crazy to me. But
yeah. But yeah, man, that was crazy. That's a crazy reference, man. I thought he was gonna be a really good linebacker, but that goes to show you, man. It's off the field, man, and we'll get into some off the field too on a flag when we get to a flag on the play. Man, crazy stuff that we're gonna talk about. But yeah, man. Hey, man, this is the time for in my opinion, it's gonna be a time for Tom Telesco to figure out what he can do to get to that first round. To get to the top of the first round, because he's going to be all around all NFL execs. They're all going to be there. Not all, but there's going to be a lot of people there. So he's going to try to figure out who he can make a deal with, and this is a perfect time, the NFL Combine. Also, agents are going to be there as well. So when you got guys like Josh Jacobs, who we'll talk about that, but obviously they're probably going to be a free agent, and then Illuminor. You know what I mean? You figure out like, okay, is it realistically, are we going to get this guy back, or are we going to have to target this position in the draft? So there's a lot of things that you're going to find out this week, especially, and we're probably not going to find out how Tom Telesco really feels about the roster. Remember, he kind of like, he avoided that question when he first got hired, when they asked him, so what did you think about the roster? And I haven't really dug deep. I'm not really 100%. Like, that was a crazy answer, because like, how did you interview? Like, how do you not talk about this team during the interview process? And he must have just talked about like his plan in general, but he didn't really know who was on the team. Like, how do you not even say that? So, but we're gonna figure that out during free agency and the draft, how he feels about the roster. But
yeah, that was a strategic. I think that was a strategic answer. I think he knows how he feels about the roster. I don't think he's going to let the league knows how he feels about the roster. There may be some guys he wants to move on from. Hopefully, maybe get some late round picks from. Maybe a guy like Hunter Renfrow. That's a guy that immediately comes to mind. So I don't think you want to let all the cat out of the bag. And I think it's different, when you're scouting internally than when you're scouting externally. All these guys, they all have. All these teams, they all have their pro scouting department that scouts the players for other teams. So I'm sure he has some kind of information on these Raiders players, not as much as he would have if they were the guys on his own roster. So I think once he gets in the building, talks to Champ Kelly, talks to the other people in the scouting department, I think he'll have a better idea of moving forward. But he has to have some kind of idea.
Yeah, and shout out to Jack Chenna, man, with the super chat. He says, just because my like-minded brother Glad to catch you live. It's been a hot minute. Yeah, man, appreciate you coming through. One of my day ones, Jack Kenna is here watching the live, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. It's been a minute. One of the first people that was there since the beginning. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you coming through. But going back to the NFL Combine, also this is going to be an opportunity where they actually start talking to some of the top prospects too as well. But that being said, some of them are not going to be participating, and I'll pull that up in a second. There's going to be some quarterbacks that they're going to choose not to throw in the combine. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's a bad thing, man. Personally, because I think it's gotten to a point where these quarterbacks, and I understand what they're doing, right? They're risk averse, so they want to throw in a very controlled environment. But what that's doing now is that's kind of removing some of that like level of competition. Like last year, we had C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson basically going back to back, and it was like, okay, like C.J. Stroud will throw a dime, and Anthony Richardson will come out there. Okay, damn, I'm gonna try to outdo you. So I think it was good to see these guys throw live back to back to get a real feel for how they throw the ball, the velocity in the ball, how accurate they are. But understandably so, they're in an environment with receivers they've never thrown to before, and timing is a big part of passing. So they want to put themselves in position to where they look the best. So doing it on their pro days, it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more of what you'll actually see in the NFL, because generally you're not going to be throwing to guys you never threw to before in a game, right? You have practice with these guys. You've had all offseason with them. So a pro day, that kind of better simulates what they'll actually do in the league. But no, it's always good to see these guys throw in these environments. If for nothing else, then the competition of it all.
Right, and as you can see on the screen, Caleb Williams, projected number one pick, number one quarterback on the board, is going to wait till their pro day because it's a controlled environment. When they go to the pro day, they're going to be throwing to their receivers. They're going to know what to expect. They have more time to prepare. For guys like that, they kind of know their agents are in their ear telling them, like, okay, you don't really need to go to the combine. Your stock is not going to really change too much. You actually could probably lose if you make a mistake, yes, or you know what I mean? Whatever happens, for guys that are at the top, there's not really a lot to gain from really, performing at the combine like that. But they're going to be there to talk to teams. They're going to be there. And as you can see on the screen, it says Caleb Williams is going to be in Indianapolis to talk to teams. And I believe Jaden Daniels will also not be throwing at the combine. He'll be doing that all on his pro day. But I think this is gonna be a perfect opportunity to obviously talk to Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. You kind of know what you're getting with those guys, but also to really evaluate the other quarterbacks. That's gonna be huge, bro. That's gonna be huge because realistically speaking, we're at number 13. The Raiders are also gonna be figuring out if they can get to the top spot, but if that can't happen, then they're going to have to figure out who's going to be there at 13. To be honest with you, if they want a quarterback, if the Raiders want to draft a quarterback in the first round, I think in my opinion, automatically, I'm assuming that they're going to trade up. Yeah. If you're telling me they're going to wait till 13 to draft, like they're going to let the board fall to them, that's kind of rare. You know what I mean? If you remember last year, I think it was the Colts draft room. You remember when they were celebrating when Anthony Richardson fell to them. But that was a risk, and they were at number 4. They were at number 4, and they targeted Anthony Richardson as their guy. That's a big risk. Now imagine the Raiders at number 13. If they decide if Jaden Daniels, whoever, J.J. McCarthy, if any of those guys they feel like are the guys for them, then they're automatically going to have to trade for them. If not, then I could see us picking the best player on the board and then maybe taking a quarterback in the second round, like guys like Bo Nix, Penix. I think some people are saying Penix might be he might go in the second round. Do you feel like he's going in the second round, or someone's going to snatch him up in the first round?
I think somebody's going to trade to the back end of the first round just so they can get that 5th-year option on him. I mean, like I said, I've been saying for a while, Michael Penix is my QB too. I have Jaden Daniels as one, Michael Penix is two. But the thing about all those guys, all the guys that we named here, outside of Bo Nix, but Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy, they're both known for having like crazy strong arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
So them throwing there at the combine, I think that's an opportunity for them to display, like, hey, I can throw with gas, right? I have a rocket, and they get to put that on display. But the danger about the combine, here's the dangers of the combine, right? We all remember Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson showed up to the combine. He's 6'5", 225. He runs the 40, like 4.3, and he's the guy that should have been the number one overall pick. I will not open those old wounds. But then if you look at a guy like DK Metcalf, right? Same type of physical specimen. Goes out there, destroys the vertical jump, destroys the 40. It's after that he gets all the buzz, right? And then he goes out and he should have just left right there, but he doesn't leave. He goes out and he does like the 3-cone drill and other stuff, and he has like some of the worst times at that. But he's not that kind of receiver. So he shouldn't be doing those drills. He's not going to be a guy that's going to be in the slot, like trying to run these zig routes and all this stuff. He's a guy, hey, bro, you run a fade, you run a 9, you run an 8, you run a 7. Like those are his routes, right? Or you run a dig. That's the only routes you should be running. And you don't need no 3-cone drill to run those routes, right? So that's why I think that's the danger of. But he went from being a guy that was, oh man, he should be the number one receiver taken, to he's taken in the second round behind JJ Arcega-Whiteside.
Yeah, man. So there's plenty to look at. I mean, there's going to be a lot of prospects that the Raiders are going to take a look at, and we'll get into that, all that good stuff. Let's get into the chat, man. Hey, we appreciate everybody coming through. Raiders resistant to the praise, man. I appreciate you coming through. My God, Telesco will speak tomorrow. Okay, we'll be paying attention to that. I don't know if he's going to say anything crazy, but we'll be able to hear from him. I think that's probably the first time we've heard him speak since the press conference, open the press conference. So he hasn't really. Said, man, y'all clowning. I'm a little behind in the chat. That's the shortest live ever. For real. I was like, hey, what's good? Click. Man, man. Cool Kev once again. He says this is shorter than Amik. Damn, man. You take it. Cool Kev has something against Amik Robinson, man. Hey, man, I don't know what happened. He must have been a bully back in the day, man. He must have been a bully.
Man. Amik must have jumped a route and took one to the house and said something to him on the way or something, man.
Something, man. Josh Armand or Amen says combine is where GM talk with other GMs and agents. Facts, 100%, man. 100%. That's literally the biggest thing that comes out of this event. Obviously, you'll be able to see some drills. You see some guys move around, but this is where. But I would think. Would you say the Senior Bowl is better for certain prospects or the combine? When getting to know, I think the Senior Bowl, they don't really. I think they have more time to talk to certain prospects in the Senior Bowl, but not all prospects are going to be there because it's only seniors, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and the combine is, it's by invite only, so you don't get to talk to everybody there either. So it's a mixed bag. I think. The best quality time players get with teams is during their 30 visits, but you have a finite amount of those too. So I think that's when teams really get to sit down and talk to the players the most. But I think the combine, like you said, that's a place where agents meet, organizations meet up, and then you get those one-on-one interviews with the players. And that's what our former GM Mike Mayock talked about being kind of the most important piece when he was evaluating guys is that interview piece.
Yeah. And shout out to Raider Ray. He says Melton from Tennessee. That goes back to what I said earlier, Raiders doing their due diligence, evaluating the other quarterbacks. Because I think they're going to know exactly who they want as far as the top. They're going to talk to the top quarterbacks. But like we said earlier, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, and I think probably Joe Milton is probably going to – I think that's what you're referring to from Tennessee. He's probably going to throw as well. And it's only going to help. Yeah, a cannon. So he has to kill it. I feel like this is going to be huge for him, especially because I don't think he had a really good Senior Bowl. Yeah, he didn't really do too much to add to his value. So, we're going to see all those players this week. Raider Pete has a question. He says, Pharaoh and Severe, what is your take on if the Bears use that first pick but trade us that 9th pick? We leap Denver and could trade less draft commodity. It could be interesting. Yeah. But this is all on who the Raiders value, in my opinion. I think if they value that 4th quarterback, most likely if we're going to trade for the 9th pick, most likely the first 3 are going to be taken off the board, in my opinion. Yeah. Like Jane Daniels, Caleb Williams, and Drake May are probably going to be gone. So that means that 4th quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, is what a lot of people are talking about. Might be smoke. It's smoke season. You made a great point last show when you talked about, like, last year there was a guy that everybody was talking about going in like the top 10, and he dropped all the way to the second round. It was a guy from tennis that plays for the Titans. My guy that likes to drink mayonnaise and
Will Levis.
Will Levis, you know what I mean? Is J.J. McCarthy a Will Levis right now? His hype is getting bigger, but then when draft time comes, does he drop? You know, who knows? But if the Raiders are going to target that 4th quarterback, they have to trade up. They're gonna have to trade up. Like there's no doubt about it. What's your take on it?
Yeah, man. I think if they, we're gonna make the assumption that if Chicago uses the number 1 pick, it's gonna be on Caleb Williams. I think that's the assumption that's being made here. So if the Raiders want a quarterback, which is the only real reason to trade up, but if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound. So basically that means if you're gonna trade up from 13 to 9, bro, just give that extra, first you have to get the guy you really want. Don't like nickel and dime yourself. I'm about to move increment. Like, nah, bro, that's stupid. Just if you want a quarterback, you identify the guy you want, bro. Go for broke. Move up, get into that top 3, get the guy that you want.
No, facts, 100%, man. But yeah, let's get into, man. This, like I always say this, man. This usually like the intro for your favorite topic, your favorite segment.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Flag on the play. Oh, do we have another super chat? Let's get to the super chat. Let me before we get to flag on the play. Let's get to the super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Raider Smoke 89, man. Let me shout you out real quick. Severe, what did you think when reports of the Raiders' interest in? Oh my God, yeah, for real. This is a great question. Raiders' interest in Justin Fields. Laugh out loud. I know you was hot for sure.
Bro, Pharaoh sent me that. And I damn near threw my phone across the room. And as soon as I saw, I was like, this better not be the case, man. This better be some situation where they trying to get some other team to take him off Chicago's hands. So, because I know how I feel about Justin Fields, man. I'm not only a member of the Justin Fields is no good fan club. I'm the president.
Yeah, man. But let's get into, and I appreciate you, Raider Smoke, for the super chat. But yeah, man, I Justin Fields is not your guy at all, man. I think you had a heart attack if he gets traded for a 7. If the Raiders give up a 7th-round pick for Justin Fields, which is obviously not gonna happen, but you still would be mad. You'd be like, oh my God, we got a player like Justin Fields on the roster.
That's a waste of a 7th-round pick.
But hey, flag on the play where we point out, crazy things that happen all around the NFL. And hey, man, one of the crazy things that happened had nothing to do with the Raiders, but we'll have one that had something to do with the Raiders. But this one in particular is all over social media, went viral. Cam Newton was in a little scuffle. Little fight, man, and let's take a look, man, and we'll react. Will everybody react to this? Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Thought I had it up here. All right. Let me put this up here so everybody can see. Appreciate everybody. Make sure to hit the like button. But yeah, so Cam Newton was at a football camp, and let me go ahead and play the video, and we'll react.
Chill.
Shit.
Man, Cam Newton in his hat.
Who he the fuck he think he is?
But yeah, man, hey, Cam Newton, man, was in a little scuffle, man. He had one dude in a headlock, and he was giving another guy a stiff arm. We can all agree that Cam Newton won that right there. You know, we'll give that round to Cam.
Definitely, man. Cam Newton. Why is my man Cam Newton dressed like a hip hop pilgrim?
Man, hip hop, Harry Potter. You could Harry Potter, whatever you name it, man.
He's Cam, but that's the difference, bro. Like, people don't realize this dude Cam Newton is still a professional athlete. Cam Newton is like 6'5", 250, bro. You're not just about to and he was manhandling these dudes. Like this is like little brother versus big brother in the backyard. Like I don't even got to swing. I don't even got to swing on you. I'm just gonna toss you around like a child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it low key kind of a bad look because it's like a football camp. It's like, damn, this is your football camp. You don't want that. You don't want anything like this to happen. I don't know what was said. I don't know what was going on. There's some reports saying that, maybe Cam Newton put out like something out where he said, if you beat this team and if you beat my team in the football camp, I'm gonna pay everybody. And then his team lost. Maybe it has something to do with money and keeping his word. Who knows? But we'll find out more as someday as time goes on. There's probably something out right now, but in my opinion, I thought it was a bad look. But hey, Cam Newton, he held his own, bro. Like he didn't. And the thing is, he didn't go hard though. Too at the end of the day, like he didn't try to fight like that. Like he just held him. Had one dude in the headlock, and he stiffed arm another dude. So, man. But
the chat is roasting Cam Newton right now, bro.
They're roasting. And his Harry Potter hat.
Yeah, man. I think my guy Raider Smoke.
What did Raider Smoke say, man? Raider Smoke with another super chat, man. He says Cam holding off 3 dudes while dressed up as the Wicked Witch of the West. Now that's impressive.
Clowning. Oh my God.
Clowning, man.
Clowning.
Man, Raider Smoke, man, clowning. But yeah, man, hey, that was flag on the play, man. We don't ever want to see something like that for a professional athlete, man. But that was crazy, man. That went viral. Like everybody was talking about it over the weekend. But hey, Cam Newton didn't lose that one. He didn't lose that round for sure. He didn't lose that one.
Thanks, bro.
But we got another flag on the play. If you want to give the people a little intro to this.
Yeah, man. We all know one of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history. Nah, playing, y'all. Man, I know we talk about draft picks. We talk about the interview process at the combine. This is a guy that apparently we didn't go too in depth with, man. Former Raiders first round pick, a pick we all wish we could have back. He's in the news again for all the wrong reasons, man.
Man, yeah, we not gonna get too much into this, but this is definitely flag on a play, man. This is bad memories for Raider fans, but Damon Arnette, man, hopefully he gets his life together, man, because this is crazy, man. Like he's arrested on meth and firearm charges, man. It's all type of wild, man. But yeah, man, it's crazy to think that Mike Mayock was this is his guy. Maybe this is the reason why he's not back with NFL Network. This might be the reason why, bro. Like NFL Network just keep reminding him, like, you did draft Damon Arnette. Terrible draft pick.
In the first round too, man. Man, I was madder at the Damon Arnette pick than I was at the Alex Leatherwood pick, man. People wanted to crap on Alex Leatherwood pick. It was a bad pick, but I was much more angry about the Damon Arnette pick, man, and deservedly so, as we can see.
But you see, Ian Rappaport, a cautionary tale, ex-Raiders first round pick. Damon Arnette was arrested on January 6th. Oh, this happened like a few months ago, and charged with possession of less than a gram of meth and unlawful carrying a firearm. he said per me and Holloway. The previously unreported arrest was in Richardson, Texas. Okay. Man, so, hey, that's crazy. I usually don't like to talk about stuff like this, but this is technically flag on the plate, man. Hopefully, you know, he gets it together, man. But, man, this is crazy. Crazy, man.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy is that I don't want to kick a dude while he down, but Damon Arnette was such on the football field that he got arrested in January and nobody gave a damn until now. It's like they just now reporting it.
Yeah, I guess because they officially like probably have the information, like the actually specific information. But let's get into the chat real quick, man. Hey, man, the chat is going wild, man. And just a friendly reminder, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels, so you want to make sure you liked both videos, subscribe to both channels, and hit that notification bell so you'll know when we go live, man, and we can talk that football, man. Hey, man, we appreciate everybody coming through. And just in case, should I give them a friendly reminder of what the like button look like, man? Sometimes people forget. I understand. You know, life happens. But, you know, as you can see in just a second, you'll see the like button just fill the screen. You see, it's a thumb. It literally looks like a thumb. It's right under the video. Just make sure to hit the like button. It really helps me out. And it's severe as well. Like all content creators, man, it helps out with the algorithm. So we appreciate everybody watching us. But, you know, also hit that like button. Hit that like button. But let's get into the chat, man. Let's hear from the people. Let's hear from the nation. Let me give 1 second here. Let's see. Let me. I'm in the chat is going wild right now. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Raider Pete says if McCarthy's the best available QB, let Denver take him.
Agreed, man.
Hey,
Agreed.
man. Golly, he went for the haymaker right there. Let's see what we got. We got man. Cam can't throw them hands better than a football left. Hey, man. Cool Kev, man. He be trying to go for Mike Tyson knockouts in the chat, man. That's what he's trying to do.
Roast every week, man. He on roast patrol every week.
Hey, Reese Rock, we'll talk about that in a second, man. We'll talk about it in a second, man. I appreciate this comment. We'll talk about Russell Wilson in a second. But yeah, Lord Rashidus is in the building. He says that was messed up. Wasn't that Cam's event? Yeah, it was Cam's event. So I don't know what the details are, man. Maybe was Cam in the wrong? Did like someone say something and hey, both of them came through and there was some dude. Not that I don't know if we've seen it in that video, but there's another version where it's like some dude in a white shirt comes in and I don't know if he was trying to hit Cam or he was trying to hit the other dudes that were fighting Cam. But yeah, man, it was crazy. It was crazy. Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Man, that comment is crazy.
And the thing that's crazy about that is that it's a youth football event. So it's like it's for kids, man. Like that event was for kids, bro. And they out there acting like that, man. That's wild. And that's wild.
Matt Minerovich is definitely personal foul.
Yeah, he was definitely giving him the business
for sure. No doubt. AJ Simpson says, so he went from the hunted round drum to the meth. Damn, yeah.
Man. Yeah, man.
Man. Yeah, I was telling what I say earlier. I was like, it was before we went live. I was like, bro, like, damn, like he's hanging around the wrong people. What'd you say to me? You said
like he is the wrong people. Like he's the bully on the after school special. We're like the dude that's trying to peer pressure all the other kids. Like that was Damon Arnette. Like you.
Yeah. Brother Raider
Damon
says
Arnette is the real life version of Towley.
Say that again?
He's the real life version of Towley. Anybody watch the South Park?
Man. Brother Raider says both them picks had me heated. Excellent show, fellas. Hey, man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming through, Brother Raider. Brother Raider. Shield 60. Man, the talent we missed out on draft. Man, for real. Like, that was that. So that was the 2020 draft, right? That was the 2020 draft. We had like
2021. I want to say 2021, I think.
Was 2021?
2020
was Henry Ruggs.
So that was the same draft then, I want to say. If that was Henry Ruggs, that's the same draft class, I believe.
Okay.
Was that?
Yeah, man.
Was that? Nah, because that's the year. I'm gonna say that was a Henry Ruggs draft class because that's the year we wanted to draft AJ Terrell, and then Atlanta jumped us or they just took him before us because that's the year with C.J. Henderson, Jeff Okudah were like the two top cornerbacks, and then like the third cornerback was up for debate. So it was like Christian Fulton from LSU, Jalen Johnson was in conversation, AJ Terrell was in the conversation, and Damon Arnette was nowhere near that conversation. And somehow he got drafted before all those guys besides Terrell.
Right, man. So just another reminder, man, why the Raiders are kind of in a situation where, like, we're missing some talent in certain key areas, and we've had high draft picks, but we've missed in the early rounds. Hopefully Tom Telesco, who's had a proven track record of drafting players in the first round, or at least in the early rounds, and that makes a world of difference, man. It makes a world of difference. Yeah. Hopefully, maybe Champ Kelly could help him out with like the later round picks, because some of them guys, that is a little weakness on his part. Like some of the guys at the back end, even though they're not a guarantee, draft picks. That's the one thing a lot of people don't consider is that like a lot of draft picks it's a lot more misses than makes. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
A lot more misses.
More than half the league is made up of guys who were like, well, it used to be. I don't know if that's still the stat, but at one point, like more than half the league was made up of guys that were undrafted. So.
Yeah, man, and let's get into the next topic, man. Notable quotables, man. This is where we bring up quotes from about the Raiders, anything that's going on around the NFL, man. If you want to give the people the intro to this quote.
Oh, yeah, man. So Antonio Pierce was on the Pivot podcast. He was asked the question about last season, which led him talking about the quarterbacks, and he made some very interesting remarks.
The wild card is the quarterback. What are we going to do? Well, we got to put a plan together. There's quarterbacks there. There's ways to get it. Everybody has a price. There's always a price. There's always something that people are willing, like, ooh, you giving me that for this? You can create a little doubt there, a little like interest as far as if they want to make that move. Well, what if it's not the draft? All right, well, you got to go through free agency. Let's go worst case scenario, which is off what you're going off of. We're with Aiden O'Connell. Won 5 games with him. What happens if we give this kid a whole offseason like we're giving the head coach an opportunity to grow and learn? Because he played his ass off the last 5 games.
Absolutely did.
The wild card is the quarterback.
Man, break that down for the people.
Yeah, man. So I think the interesting remark is that his willingness to trade up. I think, he talked about his willingness to trade up. So I think that's very important for where we are as a team, especially when we talk about some of the guys who we want to target. I personally am a Jaden Daniels fan, but I think the most interesting remark that I took out of that is that he said Aiden O'Connell is the worst case scenario. So generally, when you say something is the worst case scenario, that means you've exhausted all other options before going to that scenario. So that means that ideally, in Antonio Pierce's mind, the starter for next year would not be Aiden O'Connell. It's going to be either a free agent or it's going to be somebody we draft in the upcoming draft. So I think that's very telling. So, I know a lot of people will, hey, let's give Aiden O'Connell some more time and let's let him develop. I know he said that on the back end at the end, but his first reaction when he was in the middle of his speech was to say Aiden O'Connell is the worst case scenario. So he's dead set on getting a quarterback this offseason, and I'm pretty sure that him and Telesco are of one mind when it comes to that.
Okay, I have a theory. I have a theory. This is smoke season at the end of the day. It's smoke season. This is the time where we're going to hear all types of rumors, reports. Some may be true. Some definitely are going to be false. And all we've been hearing from the Raider side, or at least from AP, is, we're going to get a quarterback. Why not? If we're in position to get another quarterback, add to that room. We're going to draft this guy. Jaden Daniels have been connected to AP. All that good stuff. He had him in his locker room. All that good stuff. But recently, Tony Pauline had a report about. I think he was the one that mentioned that Tom Telesco might be interested in getting a big name at quarterback, but Antonio Pierce is more set at just keeping maybe Aiden O'Connell and then focusing on maybe approving other areas of the rosters probably. And I was thinking in my head, that could possibly be true. At first I was like, nah, that don't make any sense, but it can possibly be true because everything that we've been hearing, it's way too obvious for us to say that, okay, AP wants a Jaden Daniels, or he wants to trade up and get a quarterback. He might be just fine with going with Aiden O'Connell. Every year this always happens where we think that, oh, the Raiders are going to go left, they go right. Everything that we're hearing in the media is, oh, we're going to get a quarterback, we're going to be aggressive. Why are you announcing your moves? Isn't this the time where you're kind of trying to say things to throw teams, kind of throw teams off? So in my mind, maybe Tony Pauline, he was on to something with that report. Maybe there might be some truth to that. At first, I didn't believe it, but now I'm kind of thinking about it. I'm like, man, it's just AP's going out his way to talk about how he's going to get a quarterback in the future, and he likes all these guys, his Arizona State guys. Like, he's not a dumb dude. He knows exactly what he's doing when he mentions these players by names, from the Jack Jones, from obviously Jaden Daniels and Brandon Ayuk. He's doing this on purpose. He knows that people are listening to him and his every word. So maybe there might be some truth that maybe he's willing to roll with Aiden O'Connell, maybe getting another veteran in that room and drafting a different position at number 13. O-line, D-line, corner, all positions of need for the Raiders. What do you think on that? What do you think about that?
So I would be right there with you if Jaden Daniels wasn't involved. I don't think that's a guy. And what I mean by that is that I think that's a guy he obviously recruited, right? So that means he cultivated a relationship with that guy probably when he started, when the guy was like, 16, 17 years old. So he's known him from 16, 17 years old till now, brought him into Arizona State, started him as a freshman. I think he was one of the first true freshman QBs to ever start at Arizona State. So I don't think he would use that guy, a guy he's close with personally, as like subterfuge to like gain advantage over other teams, right? I don't think he would do that to him just because of that close personal relationship they have with each other. And I also don't think I don't want to say that AP is not I want to say he's not strategic, but AP is an emotional guy. He's an honest guy. So he's going to say what comes to his mind. He's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to make them think I'm zigging when I'm really zagging. Like, he's just a guy that he tells it like it is. So and he's authentic. And that's why Raider Nation loves him. 'Cause he's not one of those guys that's going to hit you with coach speak and BS you. He's going to tell you, what the real is. So I think that when he says something, we can kind of take it at face value most of the time.
Yeah, no, I can understand and I can agree with that. But it just, man, is anybody in his ear telling him hey man, calm down? If let's say what you're saying is true, and I can believe that. AP does come off as a guy he is what he is. He's telling it like it is. He's straight up with you. But would you think someone would be in here like a Marvin Lewis or guys who've had a lot of experience, guys in the front office, hey, you want to chill on who you want to, who you're talking about, because these are guys that we possibly might target in the draft.
So it's like this, but like this. This is the analogy I have for it, right? Let's say me and you are playing rock, paper, scissors, right? There are only 3 options. We're playing rock, paper, scissors. I tell you, Leo, I'm going to throw rock. Your mind would say, I should throw paper. But you also going to be like, is he telling me he going to throw rock, so I throw paper and he throws scissors? That's the stuff that's going through your mind. Is he being this obvious, telling me all this stuff because he wants me to think he's not going to do that? And that way I'll do this? Is he trying to manipulate my next moves? That's how people think, right? So I think it could be a situation where, no team is going to really think they're just putting their whole draft plan out there, right? He's not going to really come out there and say that. but maybe they are saying that. But maybe his honesty is really acting as smoke, right? Even though he's being honest, people could assume that it's smoke, even though it's not really smoke.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but he hasn't done it yet. Like he hasn't done it enough where he's mentioned other names. He's only mentioned. I feel like he's had Jaden Daniels in the locker room. He's mentioned him in interviews. He's talked about the Arizona State connection. He hasn't changed. He hasn't named other options. What you're saying would have made sense if he would name like, okay, JJ McCarthy. Like, I like that guy. You know what I mean? Even though he didn't like him that much, or a Bo Nix, or like if you start naming those guys, then I could see like, oh, okay, you don't know what he's gonna do. Like, but we'll see, man. We're just talking about it because it's that time of year. It's smoke season, so we're trying to figure out this team. But I just sometimes I'm like, you know what? It happens. Like I said, it happens every year. We think the Raiders are gonna go right. Oh, they're gonna pick this guy, and then they go left. They do something. They do some the opposite of what we're thinking. But hey, we got another super chat, man. Hey, man, my guy Raider Smoke 89, man. I got you, my guy. Man, appreciate it, my guy. He says, F them picks, get your QB of the future. Scared money don't make money. AP is all in on Daniels. Reports are Pats may look to trade a third pick. Yeah, we've seen that, man. The only problem is that there's other teams ahead of us that, that can possibly offer more. You know what I mean? They're picking ahead, so we'll see how it shakes out, man. There's plenty of time for this to all unfold. I think, like I said earlier, man, this week the combine, all the GMs, all the NFL execs, well, not all, but like a lot of them are going to be there. So Tom Telesco he's gonna put out feelers. He's gonna try to talk to certain teams that are ahead of the Raiders and try to see if what they'll be willing to give up. This is where you start the conversation. So we'll figure it out. We'll see what happens, man. But the Raiders can go a lot of different directions. They can have a home run pick at number 13, and it doesn't have to be a quarterback. It could be an offensive line. It could be a corner. You know what I mean? It could be a D tackle. You know what I mean? Depending on who they value at number 13, or they can obviously trade up. I think a lot of Raider Nation will be excited about what's going to happen moving forward with the draft. But Raiders Smoke 89, man. Appreciate the super chat. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into the chat real quick. Josh Amen says I might have McCarthy number 4, maybe. So guys over here talking about top 5 QBs. If you have to rank your top 5 QBs, for me, I think I have Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. Number 4, I'm gonna have to go with McCarthy. Not for where he is at now, where I feel like he's gonna be in the next few years. I know Severe is gonna be like, hell, I already know. I got you, Severe. I got you, man. I got you. I ain't gonna leave you hanging, bro.
Hell no. To the no. Hell to the no.
As soon as I said JJ McCarthy number 4, I seen the look on his face. He was like, hell nah. But after that, it's kind of I'll probably go Michael Penix maybe. But what scares you with Michael Penix is the injuries, bro. The injuries, and the fact is when he didn't get protected, he struggled. He wasn't able to I don't know, man. I Michael Penix kind of scares me a little bit. Like I know you have him as your number 2 guy, but Bo Nix is kind of like, is he a dink and dunk? You know what I mean? Is he gonna be another Derek Carr? You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see.
So I mean, you guys know my order. You know my first 2: Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix. Then I have Caleb. Then I probably have. Oh man, I might have Spencer Rattler. I think I have Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler, then JJ McCarthy, then Bo Nix, and then Drake May. JJ McCarthy, for anybody who's younger, look up Jake Locker. That's JJ McCarthy.
Come on, man.
Look at Jake Locker.
Oh,
look at Jake Locker. Bro, look at
it
Jake
could
Locker.
I'm just saying he could possibly be a bust, but he's 21 years old. He has a higher ceiling. than some of these guys that you're talking about that are ahead of him. Obviously, there has to be a little bit more development. He's probably not ready to go right now at this very moment. It's just that, man, you're willing to roll the dice with Michael Penix with all the injuries that he's had?
Penix,
and he has your number two guy? Your number two guy?
He's the best thrower of the football in this draft. When it comes to just throwing the football, there's nobody in this draft that throws the ball better than Michael Penix. Does he have the strongest arm? No, but he has strong enough arm to get it where it needs to go. He's accurate, throws with anticipation, throws with touch, can layer throws to all levels of the field. High IQ, team leader, all that stuff. Went head to head with Bo Nix twice, beat him twice. Destroyed Caleb Wentz. Like, he's a guy that he knows how to throw the football, and he has enough athleticism where he can move out the pocket. He showed it, in the Texas game. I think he was just overmatched against Michigan. But even in that game, he showed his toughness. Right, he was hanging in there, delivering throws. He came up against a juggernaut, and he couldn't get it done. But when it comes to throwing the football, there's nobody in this draft that does it better than him. Okay,
man, that's the list. That's our list right there. Severe definitely has his own list. Man, we are on fire with the super chats. Man, let's see. Let me get through these real quick, man, because we got to show some love to people that show love to us, man. AJ Simpson in the building, man. Appreciate the super chat. He says, I watched the Marcus Johnson live today. Fireworks. I hope you guys can run it back for a free agency and draft recap live when the time comes. Yeah, man. Hey, man, it's a welcome. It's an open door policy with Marcus Johnson taped on live. We have a lot of respect what they do in that channel, man. Make sure if y'all haven't subscribed, go hit up Tape Don't Lie on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, man, hey, we're definitely we'll touch base and we'll talk to them if they want to make a live or a collab. We'll do it again. And there's other people out there too as well that we're gonna bring on and have conversations. So be on the lookout. And my guy again, Raider Smoke 89. JJ McCarthy equals AJ McCarron. Changed my mind. AJ McCarron didn't have an arm though. He had no arm, and he wasn't as athletic. Damn, that's a hater comment right there. I think
what he's talking about though is that people was like JJ McCarthy, like he was 14-1 as a star, or whatever he was. Like he was 20, as a start, he's a winner. All he does is win. All AJ McCarron did was win. So, I think that's what he's talking about with that. Like, that's what they point to. But just like AJ McCarron wasn't the reason Alabama was winning, JJ McCarthy, but damn sure wasn't the reason that Michigan was winning. So,
but
it goes hand in hand.
To be fair, though, all Jim Harbaugh teams are all built the same way. Run game, physical offense, physical defense, they're all built the same way. Doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Like Kaepernick, Alex Smith. Obviously, Kaepernick used his legs a lot. He was explosive with it. Yeah. But we all know Kaepernick as a passer was terrible, whatever. But hey, Jim Harbaugh had a lot of good things to say about McCarthy, saying he's like the best quarterback in Michigan history. He should go number one or whatever. And that's probably his guy, so it's kind of biased.
Exactly.
Or whatever. But we'll see. We'll see.
Nick Saban said Rolando McClain was the best football player he ever coached, or one of the best football players he ever coached. He was by far the smartest football player he ever coached. Look how that turned out. And Nick Saban is the greatest college coach of all time.
What happened with Rolando McClain when he with the Raiders? Didn't he have some off-field issue? I remember he went. I don't know. He went to Alabama and he got into some stuff.
He went back home and he went back home and got arrested. So something crazy happened. I forgot what happened, but yeah, man. Yeah, I was excited about that pick too, man. I was happy as hell when we picked up Rolando McClain. I was like, yes, we finally got a linebacker. Yeah. We traded Kirk Cousins and everything, man. And then, man.
Austin Avila 100% agrees. Okay. Hey, man. Josh Amon says Mark Davis gave the green light to. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I believe this too. I think this is probably one of the biggest reasons why the Raiders are probably going to go get a quarterback, because now they have a green light. Usually teams are they won't trade up because the owner probably will be like, no, or whoever in that organization will probably veto it. But Mark Davis, right now, he's the guy that's gonna, he's running the show right now. Hopefully he'll get a football guy in the building to run the show. But as of right now, Mark Davis is running the show, and he's given the GM a green light to trade up. So 100% facts. But let's get to what's real, what's not, and let's get into it, man. And I think earlier, Reese brought this up. He talked about Russell Wilson, and yesterday, I posted it on the community tab. Let me go put this on the screen real quick. Let's see here. I thought I had it up here. It's right here. I got it. Don't worry, y'all. I have it right here. So, Russell Wilson rumors filling his QB signs a NFL minimum contract after the Broncos exit. So everybody's kind of, basically predicting that the Broncos are going to release Russell Wilson. And he just had like a sit down with Brandon Marshall, I Am Athlete, and he was saying a whole lot like you're not coming back. When you start talking about the details of what was said and they, you know what I mean? He's talking about like stuff that you probably should keep quiet. And that's a good sign that he's probably not going to come back with the Broncos. Most likely he's going to get released. And they have all that guaranteed money. So the reason why he can sign a minimum contract is because no matter what, the Broncos have to get the difference. So he's going to help the team that he's going to play on so they can put the best pieces around him, because it's not going to make a difference if he signs a big contract with the next team or not. Like, he's still going to get his money. So he's going to make the Broncos pay, because I'm sure he's bitter about, being benched and being treated that way, even though they were winning with him. And I love it too, because we all hate the Broncos, the donkeys. We all hate them. So it's a win-win for the Raiders. You get all that experience, Super Bowl, playoffs. I know he's up there in age, but hey, at the end of the day, like signing him to a cheap contract is a win-win in my eyes. It's a low risk, high reward move. If it doesn't work out, like a lot of people in the comments were talking about, they're talking about like he was, like he's not a guy that will fit the locker room. He's corny. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing. He doesn't fit the Raider image. But there's a lot of players that's corny, but they're good. You know what I mean? I'm not. If you want to keep it real.
Hold on. These people that say he don't fit the locker room, he's corny. What the fuck is Aiden O'Connell?
Exactly.
Like, Russ Wilson does not fit the locker room at all. But we got Aiden O'Connell. He's a real gangster in here. Like, come on, bro.
Exactly. And on top of that too, I think he's been humbled by that experience. I think that he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder. He's obviously gonna be playing his team twice a year if he signs with the Raiders. He's gonna be playing his former team, the Broncos, twice a year if he signs with the Raiders. So I'm sure he's gonna enjoy that fact. And if he wins a starting job, which I feel like should be an open competition, because I don't think it stops the Raiders from being aggressive and getting a quarterback at any point in the draft, whether it's the first round, second round, wherever. I don't think it stops them from doing that. If they can even trade up, and it still wouldn't like impact that the move of getting to Russell Wilson won't impact them trading up. Like, it doesn't, because they're going to be investing so little money. So why wouldn't they trade up to get their quarterback of the future? And if it's like Jaden Daniels go into training camp, and if Jaden Daniels can't beat Russell Wilson, that's what it is. Maybe he needs another year to develop, there's nothing wrong with that. And then as soon as Russell Wilson finishes that contract, we got Jaden Daniels starting the next year, because he's earned the right for that job. If he loses, either Russell Wilson becomes a backup, or he could be like, you know what, I don't want to be a part of this team. All right, cool. We gave you a minimum contract. So I think, in my opinion, I think it's a win-win. But so many Raider fans, I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, how are you guys against this move? Like, it's not going to stop the other moves. It's not going to stop anything.
Yeah. I mean, Marcus is of the opinion that if we are able to acquire Russell Wilson, it may actually increase the likelihood we can trade up for a quarterback, because then we're not dependent on that guy, immediately coming in and playing. And this is it's such a low risk move to sign him for a vet minimum. Like even if he plays average, he's more than outplaying his contract, right? So, and then it gives you the opportunity to either, hey, you know what, we still want to go up and get a young guy, or if we want to draft a guy later on, if we want to draft, if we want to stay put at 13, I hope JJ McCarthy falls to us. If you want to, draft a guy like Spencer Rattler, if I saw somebody talking about Joe Milton earlier, if you want to take a guy like Joe Milton later on in the draft, sit him down, let him develop, Russell Wilson gives you the luxury to do that, because he's a guy who can be a stopgap starter for the time being, also mentor that young guy, not only how to conduct himself on the field, but conduct himself off the field, so he's not caught with the gram of meth and machine guns. So he fills both of those roles, and it's so cheap. Like, how can you say no? And I don't think he's a fit in Sean Payton's. He was fit in Sean Payton's offense. I think he can do a little bit more in a Luke Getsy system. That could be a little bit more tailored to who he is as a quarterback, especially if you go out and get that guy. When it came to Sean Payton inherited him. And Sean Payton, you could tell Sean Payton, it was a situation where when you get locked up, you go in there and you punch the biggest guy to show everybody you ain't no punk. Like, he went after the most expensive quarterback or the most expensive player on the team and tried to make an example out of him to show, hey, I'm the new sheriff in town. This is how I'm rocking things. And he, the target was paying on Russell Wilson's back.
Look, hey, I just seen this comment. Let me post this real quick. Austin Avila says Penix is Aaron Brooks with 2 broke legs, dog. Hell nah to the nah. I got you.
Hell no to the no.
But nah, look. Let me go to this comment right here. Eli W says Russ is 5'8" and getting slower. No. Hey, if he doesn't make the team, he doesn't make the team. It's like it's a low investment. You're giving him pennies. He's basic. If he does follow through on this and signs a minimum contract, you're gonna say no. I think he's gonna add to that locker room. Either way, I think that QB room needs a veteran. You got Aiden O'Connell. He's a second-year player, young player, still learning the position. And then most likely we can all. I think a lot of Raider Nation is expecting the Raiders to draft a quarterback at some point, whether it's the first round, whatever. We're gonna get another young QB. So another guy to add to that room would be a veteran. So why not add a guy that probably has the most experience that's out there, who's been to the Super Bowl, who could teach the young players.
You're not gonna get anybody cheaper. You're not gonna get like $1.8 million. You're not gonna find a vet quarterback that's gonna take cheaper than that.
Yep.
You're not.
Yeah.
And especially not one that still has the level of ability that he had. He went at one point. He had the Broncos in position to win the AFC West. Think about that. They were in position to win the AFC West, and then during the bye, he just came off beating the Chiefs. Not like we beat the Chiefs, where they turned the ball over twice and we scored defensive touchdowns. We generate no yardage in the passing game. He actually helped the team win, unlike Aiden O'Connell. And then they came to him, demanded they take a pay cut or they bench him. And then after that, it was all downhill from there. But at one point, they were in position to win AFC West.
Yeah. And I forgot to say this, man. It's what's real, what's not. And the statement here is the Las Vegas Raiders will sign Russell Wilson if Denver releases him. It's not a matter of if, it's when. So they're most likely going to release him. I think this is real. So if you guys didn't get the impression of what I was talking about, like you got in, hey, I think it's a real deal. Because we had Marcus Johnson the other day on our last live, and he talked about Luke Getsy's system and how that the deep passing game in that offense is pretty nice. And a guy like Russell Wilson, that's part of his game. He's one of the most accurate deep ball throwers. Boom.
Fact.
That's a nice little fit right there. Now,
Fact.
you can argue, is he the same Russell Wilson? Was he? Hey, that's not the reason why the Raiders are getting him. They're not getting him to be the next franchise QB. He's more of a stopgate. He's a veteran. He got a lot of experience. The big guy, the quarterback that we're going to be getting, I feel like the Raiders can still draft a quarterback in that and they can draft in the first round, second round, third round. It doesn't stop them from attacking that position. But let's move on to. Let's get into the chat real quick. Hold on. Let me. Some people, they going crazy right now. At least we know Russell can go toe to toe with Mahomes though. For a 2-year deal, I'm down. Draft Rattler in the second or third. Bring that cornball into LV. Hey man, that's what I'm saying, man. If he gets the job done, he gets the job done, man. I understand like Russell it can be cringe at times. I'm not even saying. Hey, look, at the end of the day, like yeah, we could. But look, hey, Russell Wilson's better than Jimmy G. Better than Brian Hoyer,
Man.
and that's possibly where he could be at if he were to continue to stay on the roster and whoever that young QB is beats him out. Yeah. It's a win-win. And if he doesn't beat him out, that means that young QB wasn't good enough. Exactly. It's just it's kind of just a little bit. I don't know, man. But that's the way I look at it. Man, we got people going crazy in the chat. Desirator says. Why not F the Broncos by signing him to exactly? This is a big if y'all hate the Broncos so much, this is like a big smack in the face to the Broncos right now. Like if we're able to get Russell Wilson and make them pay his salary to play with us, man. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's how you do it.
AJ Sims, I hope he's been humbled because if he comes over to us, AP's not gonna put AP's not gonna. I feel like the Raiders have a strong enough locker room where, and I'm gonna get to the super chat in a second. I feel like, the Raiders have a strong enough locker room where they're not gonna let a Russell Wilson come in and mess it up. And I think AP, he's smart enough, guy that's been there, done that. If he sees that Russell Wilson is is on some weird stuff, he's not gonna allow that. He's not gonna allow Russell Wilson to mess up the chemistry.
Yeah. And I don't think he's there to do that either. Like he's a guy. I think he's coming in from the outside. It's not his team. I think he's going to get in where he fits in.
Yeah, no facts. Derek Ludeman with the super chat. Appreciate you. Russell had 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and that doesn't include rushing, all while being benched. Also, Jared Jeudy as number 1, not on Russell. Yeah, you can argue that the weapons that he had with Denver are lackluster. You know what I mean? A guy like Jerry Jeudy, he was highly touted coming out, but he hasn't lived up to the expectations. You kind of seen it in spurts, but his hands, bro, this dude, man, he needs to work. He needs to get better as a player. You seen how Steve was it Steve Smith? I think he got at him. It was during the season. I think there was a situation where Steve Smith. On his podcast, made a reference to him and said and I think Jerry Jeudy didn't like that. And when there was an opportunity for them to squash it, Steve Smith tried to squash it, and Jerry Jeudy didn't like it, and he didn't like it. Let's just say Steve Smith kind of shut him down. But it is what it is, man.
I will tell Jerry Jeudy this: if he knows what's good with them, he do not want no problems with Steve Smith. He does want this. He does not want no kind of smoke with Steve Smith. So
Steve Smith, hey man, you could tell he don't care. He do not care. It could be live TV. It don't matter. He's there for all the smoke. But yeah, man, hey, that's a great point. That's a great point, Derek. The issues with Denver, you could talk about. Yeah, it was on Russell Wilson to a certain extent. But then, look at his OC. Look at the coach. Literally, they're calling him the worst head coach in the NFL in Nathaniel Hackett. And then, and obviously this year with Sean Payton, I get it. It wasn't a fit. I don't think Russell Wilson fit with Sean Payton. But I'm not even trying to defend Russell Wilson to that extent. I'm saying at the very worst, it's still a plus.
Yeah.
Because we're paying them pennies. So
nothing. A vet QB for $1.8 million. We paid Brian Hoyer more than that last year. You feel me? So
exactly. And we talked Brian Hoyer out of retirement. McDaniels, man, that's terrible, man. Space Beast, hell nah. I got you, man. Space Beast, man. Look, man. Oh, you saying hell nah to Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh man, I ain't gonna play that beat for you because I don't agree.
You ain't getting no love on that.
I
You switched so
ain't
quick.
give you no love, man. If you don't
Earl
agree with
switched
me,
so quick.
if you don't agree with me, I ain't gonna show you. No, I got you.
To the no.
He switched up quick.
Oh man, that's hilarious. We got Trayvon in the building. He says, "Hey man, what's crazy is he's way cheaper and way better than the backup we had." Nothing but
It's facts. Exactly. Facts, bro. Then Brian, we paid
all
Brian
I'm
Hoyer,
saying.
bro.
Now, if you're telling me the Raiders are going to give him the same contract that they gave Jimmy G a year ago, 100% hell, like, no. I'm not saying that. Nah, without a doubt. Like, nah. If he's coming here with the expectations that, oh, he has a starting job all but locked up, I don't agree with that. Maybe that might happen because I think they were saying that he'll be willing to take a small contract if he has an opportunity to start, which he knows he's being honest. He knows where he's at this point in his career. His reputation and him as a player has kind of taken a hit the last couple of years. So, we'll see, man. We'll see, man. I can't wait till he's available. I want to see where he goes. I think there's definitely going to be a market for him. So that's the one thing. I'm not sure it's going to be about where he wants to go. And I hope he's petty. And if he's petty, he's coming to the Raiders. If he's petty, he's coming to the Raiders. I'm just letting you know. I'm letting you know. But go ahead.
Now I said that 1.8 million hit different in the state with no income tax too. So
exactly, man. So he's gonna get the most of his money. But yeah, man. Hey, look, we got another what's real, what's not. And, recently we heard that our guy, Josh Jacobs, he's headed to, he's not going to be tagged. He's not going to be franchise tagged, and which we all kind of expected. I think the franchise tag this year is like 14 mil. He just had a down year. He was hurt. So his leverage is kind of not as high as he had the year before where, the boy, he balled out in 2022.
That's
but 2023, 2023, man. But it didn't go to according to plan. But there's from what we're hearing, there's mutual interest. You can see it right there. Adam Schefter's reporting that the Raiders will attempt to re-sign the free agent to be Josh Jacobs. But there's a possibility some team could come in and offer more. And you can see where the Raiders will probably be like, you know what, that's a little bit too much. We got some other needs here, so they're for sure. I think the Raiders are approaching it the right way, in my opinion. And the statement, what's real, what's not, is Raiders will not bring back Josh Jacobs. Is that real or is it not?
That is not real. I think that with the mistake that Jimmy Garoppolo made, that combined with the increase in the cap, I think it's all but a foregone conclusion that we're going to be bringing back Josh Jacobs. The extra $30 million, I think we can easily, that's been added to the salary cap. I think we can easily fit a contract in there for Josh Jacobs. If there's mutual interest between both parties and him coming back, AP loves him. Josh, he says he loves the Raiders, so I think he'll definitely be back.
Hey, you know what? I don't think he's coming back. I'm gonna go with that is I'm gonna say that's real. And the reason why I say it's real is I'm not saying that the Raiders don't want him back. I think there's gonna be another team out there that's gonna be willing to pay more. You know what I mean? Maybe a Dallas Cowboys, maybe who knows, a Super Bowl contender that needs a physical running back like a Josh Jacobs or a running back. I don't know. Some people will argue that maybe Josh Jacobs is not as physical as you want him to be. But they might want to go after a guy that's 26 years old who they feel like is a missing piece to their offense. And I'm not sure if the Raiders want to get into a bidding war. It's pretty much on Josh Jacobs. If Josh Jacobs wants to come back to the Raiders, he's going to have to basically say no to offers that probably are going to be more. If he's about his money, he's probably going to go to another team. And I think that, at this point, he understands his position as a running back. They don't get paid too often. This is his time to get paid. So if another team comes in and tries to offer him more year-to-year, whatever, more guaranteed money, I don't think the Raiders are going to be competing. in my opinion. They're not going to be trying to outbid other teams. So I think it's a real possibility he doesn't come back for sure.
I think it's a possibility. I just think that with this increase in cap, and Tom Telesco doesn't pay running backs. That's another thing. And initially, I had my number at Josh Jacobs at $8.5 million, like average annual value for his contract. That's the highest I would be willing to go with them. With the increase in the salary cap, I'm willing to go as much.
Say that again. Not to cut you off. Say that again. What's the highest?
So initially, I had it at $8.5 million. That was before I found out about the increase in the salary cap. Now with the increase in the salary cap, I'm willing to go to $10 million a year. I'm willing to go to $10 million a year. That's where it cuts off. If he's asking for more than $10 million a year, we let him go ahead, let him get up out of here, and we get a ball to Zamir, and Zamir carries us to wins like he did, the last few games of the season.
Hey man, it's like I said, it's on Josh Jacobs. He's gonna have to want to come back to the Raiders and also understand that he's probably gonna have to take lesser money to come back. He's still gonna get paid, but what I'm saying is I think another team will come in and pay more, but it's really on Josh, man. And it sounds like Jacobs is he likes the locker room, he likes the players on the team, he likes us coaching staff. If you hear him talk about how like that previous regime, how they handled the contract situation, he was up out of there. He pretty much was like, signing off. Like this year was going to be his last year. But with AP taking over, the whole locker room, everything going on with the Raiders right now, it seemed like he's re-energized and he possibly wants to come back. But it's going to be hard for a running back to say no to all that money, especially a running back.
Who's going to give it to him, though? Realistically, who would give it to him? And I think that's the problem he's running into. Baltimore, maybe Baltimore.
Let me try to pull up something here in a second. I'm gonna pull this up in a second. Give me just one moment. I'm gonna try to find out the top teams with salary cap, and then we can like figure out what teams in that top 10 with the most money will probably offer him some money. Or even it don't even have to be top 10. It could be like a team that's just a missing piece.
Yeah. So the top three. So the top three teams in the league have our tops in salary cap. I want to say the top three teams drafting are they? I think they're the top three in salary cap. I don't know what order, but I want to say they are top three. So
yeah.
That's the Bears. That's the Bears, the Patriots, and the Commanders.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. I think I found something here. All right. I'm gonna put this on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see here. Let me move this out the way. All right. So look, if we look at the cap space right here, the Titans are neck and neck with the Bears. Damn, the Bears got so much asset. Like they got draft picks, they got money. Like they can really, if they do if they can make the right moves, the Bears can really turn around real quick. To be honest with you, but yeah, man, you gotta want to play in Chicago. That's the one thing, you gotta play in Chicago now, win the city. But look, so it's the Titans, the Bears, the Patriots, the Commanders, Colts. Let me make this a little bit bigger for people to see because it's kind of small. Hold on one second. Can y'all see it? Yeah, it's better? Yeah, this might be better.
Yeah.
All right, cap space. You can see right here. All right. So 78 mil right here. 78 mil right here with Bears, Patriots, Commanders, Colts, Texans, Lions, Cardinals, Bengals. I think they franchise tagged T. Higgins, I believe.
Yeah, they did.
Are they going to, I've heard reports that, there's some people speculating that the running back might be a casualty cut.
Joe Mixon?
Mm-hmm.
They just made Joe Mixon take a pay cut. So, I mean, they're not about to make Joe Mixon take a pay cut and then turn around and pay Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, that's true. And that's a bad sign for that locker room. He's probably a big dude. He's probably bigger in that locker room. So it's like, So you got the Raiders. So Raiders are like in the top 10. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they're like literally number 10 right here with pretty much 43 mil. But let's see some teams that he might fit. Let's see here.
Yeah, see those teams. Their teams are in the red. Nah, bro. None of those teams, bro. The
Hey,
Ravens,
would he do it
possibly.
though? Would you think he would do it?
Why? But why would the Chiefs do it?
Yeah. I'm trying to see who would offer him. The Cowboys, I heard, that might let Tony Pollard walk, so they're not going to franchise tag him. They're going to let him walk in his free agency.
See, so that's the problem again, though. Same thing. They're letting Tony Pollard walk because they don't want to pay him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the best bet, the team that makes the most sense.
The Ravens.
The Ravens make two teams that make the most sense to me are the Texans and the Ravens. The Texans, if the Texans got Josh Jacobs, I think that will be a very good get for them because they didn't really have anybody last year. They had my guy that was out of Florida Atlantic, Devin Singletary. They had Devin Singletary last year, and they had the other back. But the other back was pretty good, though. I forget his name. The other back was pretty good, but he lost his job to Devin Singletary. But if they get a guy like Josh Jacobs in there, I think they can do some damage. And then of course, the Ravens. But does Josh Jacobs want to go there and play a reduced role and never really get the ball? And he's not a guy that can really catch the ball out of the backfield. Gus Edwards is their established short yardage guy. So does he really
think Josh
have
Jacobs
a big role there?
solid hands. I think Jacobs got solid hands. Like, it's not
But
spectacular. He's not Christian McCaffrey, like a receiver out the backfield. But I don't think it's terrible. It's not terrible. But
No. I wouldn't say he's a bad. But my point is that, do you know how many reception and touchdowns does Josh Jacobs have in the NFL? As many as you and me.
He has zero. He has zero. Okay,
Exactly.
I gotta look that up. I gotta confirm that. But damn, zero. Whew. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. Yeah, man, you're looking around the league. The Eagles, maybe. Do Eagles make that move? You got Eagles, Ravens. I'm looking at teams that are like, you know what I mean, where they got like pieces all around, and they're just missing that maybe that consistent guy that can run the football. Steelers, I think they're pretty much good. Packers are pretty much solid. 49ers, we all know. But these are teams that are like look at 49ers are like, they're going to have to restructure some deals. Jaguars, I think they got Travis, E.T.
Etienne.
Yeah, ETN. So like, I think they're going to be good. Falcons, they drafted that young running back last year. So, yeah, they're good. Panthers, maybe?
Does he want to do that?
Does he want to do that? But if they offer him a big time contract, what do they say about a running game for a quarterback? That's like that'd be huge for a guy like the quarterback for the Panthers. Young quarterback that got drafted, Bryce Young. So
Bama guy too.
See, this goes back to what I said earlier. Is a guy like Josh Jacobs, where he understands that running back market. They're not gonna get that money all too often. And the Panthers throw the bag, it's gonna be hard to say no. The Raiders are not gonna.
Do they throw the bag though? That's the thing. Do they throw the bag? I don't.
They need to, because their offense needs weapons. They don't have any weapons at all. Like, they got some guy, maybe last year they had DJ Shark, but when has he done anything? You know what I mean? They need some receivers that need to create separation. They don't have. Do you know who their starting running back is? No.
I think I don't remember. I want to say it was Chuba Hubbard. I want to say I think it was Chuba Hubbard out of OK State, the back out of OK State, Chuba Hubbard. But
okay. But no, my point is that, like, I think Panthers could possibly. I could see that happen. The Rams, I think they found some guy this year that played well for them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I want to say he was like he made the All-Pro team too. I want to say.
Yeah, he played well for them. Let's see. Texans.
The Lions got Jahmyr Gibbs, and Montgomery played well enough for him. Texans, what's Damian Pierce? Remember we was talking about him before. Damian Pierce.
Yeah, but what's crazy? Like, I think he got demoted this year. Like, I don't know, the coaching staff. Like, I don't know what happened.
He was hurt. I want to say, didn't he get hurt? And then Devin Singletary came in and was playing well enough.
He took that position and did not let go. So they kind of stuck with the hot hand over there. But Patriots, maybe.
I can see that. But they got Ramondre Stevenson though, and he's young and cheap.
Yeah. And it's a whole different regime, but I guess I get you.
Well, different regime, but still Gerard Mayo.
Titans.
They're letting Derrick Henry walk because they don't want him to pay him.
Because he's 30. That's like the running back age where teams are like, nah, we're not gonna pay you nothing at this point.
Derrick Henry's different though, man.
But I know he's different, but like, hey, at the end of the day, we've seen it time and time again. Like when they hit that 30-year mark, like it's just like when a running back turns 30, like teams do not want to pay. And Josh Jacobs is 26. Maybe they attack. Look at all this money. They got money to spend.
Yeah.
You give Brian Callahan, first time head coach, a running game. A guy like Levis needs a running game. So look, Titans, Panthers, Eagles, and Ravens. You can see it. You can see it a little bit.
I can see it. I can see it with them. But I see that's the thing though. Like, are they going to throw the bag at him? Because then there are other guys that are free agents out there. Like Derrick Henry's a free agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who I forget, but there's a Tony Pollard. You said no. Tony Pollard is going to be a possible free agent that can be let go. Joe Mixon is going to be a guy that's going to be a possible free agent that can be let go. So it's going to be these other backs out there. So is Josh Jacobs that much better than those guys where they're willing to pay that much more money for him? I don't think so, man. And he's coming off a disastrous year, a horrible year, right? Where he averaged like 4.1 yards per carry, something like. He averaged 4.2 yards per carry for his career, which is it's not horrible, but it's not great. That's like mid production for a running back. So, do you really give that guy all that money? I don't think so, man. And he's never caught a touchdown pass. You can look that up.
Hey man, look, we got you on video, man. We got you on video this year with the short where you went in on Josh Jacobs early in the season. But
oh yeah, man. I said they ain't gonna pay to do it, right? Was I not right about that?
Well, hey, I never said to pay him all that much money, but you can bring him back at a reasonable deal. But look, if that's possible. But now I'm telling you guys, like, hey, look, I think there's gonna be a higher bidder. If they're not gonna franchise tag him, I think this would be an opportunity for the Raiders to actually be like, go a different direction. I think they want to bring him back, but at the right price. Nightmare 916 says Jacobs wants to still be in Vegas. Says it's his city. Okay. But like I said, he's gonna have to say no, because I think there's gonna be some people offering him a contract more than what the Raiders are offering. Because once you go into that open market, it's open season. It's open season. Rick L says Jacobs needs the bag. He has 8 kids. Oh man, I don't even know what to do on that one, man. That's
for real.
Man, y'all be going in the chat, man. Golly, Jacobs, does he have any kids? I don't even think Rick, man.
It was the rumors out there. It was the rumers out there that he had all those kids. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I can't really speak on that. I don't know 100%. But damn. Derek Luden says last 10 Super Bowl winners, none had a franchise running back. Woo!
Facts.
Man, Derek Luden right there, man. Just came through with that one right here. Dallas, I've heard that too. Dallas is a good bet for Jacobs, but they're going to let Tony Pollard walk for Josh Jacobs.
And Tony Pollard is a home run hitter. That's the difference between them. Tony Pollard is a guy that he gets a crease, he can take one to the house. Jacobs, he's done it before, but that's not like his calling card.
Yeah. Is Zach Moss a free agent? Zach Moss would be a good get for us. He played well for Colts. Especially he held it down when he held it down for if he's cheap. If he's cheap, I wouldn't be mad at it at all. But yeah, man, look, Josh Amon says Raiders get another $20 million with cutting Jimmy G and Hunter. Yeah. Man, hey man, that's more money right there. So that's like what? You add like what, 60? That's $60 million in cap space, give or take. Reese Rock says Tom Brady was a two-faced cartoon phony to the media, but Russ gets shade for his corny behavior. Keep the same energy or objective. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. There's times with Tom Brady I was just like, it's a little. It wasn't authentic. I just say that it wasn't authentic, man. But
man.
Desert Raider says running back market will be saturated. There are a lot of options for teams to choose from. Ooh, this is a very good point.
Yeah.
Right here, man, 100%. I like that. That's only gonna benefit the Raiders, pretty much.
Right.
That's basically what you're saying. So I like that right there. The AJ Sims, the Texans got Damian Pierce, bro, was dealing with injuries last year. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a point in time where he was healthy and he still wasn't getting any run, and I think that was a sign of Singletary was the guy like that they felt like was better at that time. But that was later in the year, so you might be. Yeah.
I just think at that point, Singletary, he kind of had the hot hand, so they just say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why we going to try to insert this guy? This other guy's been having some success. Let's just keep the train rolling. So I think that was the situation there.
Castro Raider says the Titans got Tajay Spears. Yeah, but he's more of a lightning. Maybe they need a thunder with Josh Jacobs. You know what I mean? And they got plenty of cap space. And you give a guy like, Will Levis another weapon. Brian Callahan is a first-year head coach over there. So, he's offensive minded. So he's going to be creative enough to maybe use that two-headed monster with Tajay Spears and Josh Jacobs. Hey, look, that's today's NFL, man. It's not just one running back. Those days are almost gone, to be honest with you. It's like that. We
tried it.
Yeah, man. It's for 1 year. And then we seen what happened last year. Like, we seen what happened. But look, man. Hey, look. Steven Arlino says, "Why you hate the run game? Severe Fields now Jacobs." Hey, man. Look, man. Steve is calling you out, man. He's been calling you out.
Steve Oriana he got jokes today. But I would say this, man. I told people beforehand not to pay this man Josh Jacobs. Told him that season was a fluke, and look at him now.
Yep.
So we'll see. Hey, down the stretch, Zamir performed just as well.
Yeah.
Just as well.
But yeah, man. Hey, it's been a great show, man. My guy D Menace is pulling up, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. Late to the party, man. Watch the rewatch, man. But appreciate you coming through either way, man. It's been a great show. We appreciate everybody coming through. We just
D-Menace really didn't have no faith in us, man. He was like, "I'm gonna show up about 10:30. They should be getting started."
He's like, man, these fools, man. They
about to get started around 10:30.
Hey, at this point, y'all know we kind of we're that late night crew at this point. Like, hey, evening and late night, man. On Mondays, just know that we gonna be here every Monday. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit that notification bell. We're going live on both our channels, so you want to make sure you subscribe to both channels and hit the like button, hit the notification, all that good stuff. Man, it's gonna be a fun week for NFL fans. I feel like this is. I always used to joke around, and be like, man, this is the Raiders Super Bowl, man. The offseason is the Raiders Super Bowl because that's like the most juice I be getting. Like, it's like when like we get big moves in free agency or the draft. And then the season comes around, but we're just keeping it real. I mean, sometimes during the season it doesn't go our way. So this time of year, we can hope. We have a little hope.
Exactly.
But this year, I think we got a lot to look forward to because I think the Raiders are going to be aggressive. They are going to be aggressive. If you're over here talking about you want to trade up in the draft, that means you're going to have to be aggressive in free agency because you're not going to be able to fill your needs in the draft. So you're going to have to be aggressive in free agency. And free agency is a way to like also give you flexibility in the draft too as well. So, man, there's gonna be a lot to look forward to, and we got someone coming through with a true bet. We're gonna show some love. Oh man, my guy, hey, he's ending on a high note, man. Raider Smoke 89, man, I got you. Great show, salute from the Bay, yay! Hey man, appreciate you coming through, man. My guy from the Bay, man. But
holding it down.
Man, all our teams have left the Bay, man. The Warriors went to I guess the Warriors in San Francisco, but they should be in Oakland. The A's, man, I don't know if y'all heard, man. The A's
they took down the sign.
They took down the sign, rooted in Oakland. Like that's Man,
man.
That's a whole different conversation for another day, man. But Raider Smoke, man, I appreciate the super chat today, man. You came through and support. It's all gonna go through the show, so don't worry, man. It's gonna be reinvested. You're gonna see some extra lights back right here. You're gonna see some stuff going on.
You'll see another jersey in the back.
I need to get another jersey, bro.
I'm gonna draw some pictures and put them up in this area. I'm gonna get some crayons.
Hey, man, but look, hey, any last thoughts, man? This week for Raider fans, NFL Combine, obviously in a week or two, free agency is gonna hit. Like, and hey, don't worry. Next show we'll get into free agency. We didn't really talk about it. We touched on it a little bit, but we'll talk about some of the guys that we like in free agency, and we'll talk about it on the next show. So be on the lookout for that. But what are your last thoughts, man, for Raider Nation, man, for this week NFL Combine?
Yeah, man, this is the start of a new regime, right? You know, we've seen how the previous two regimes have drafted. It's been very poorly. So we brought in a brand new GM who has a history of drafting well in the first two rounds, which is the exact opposite of what the last two regimes did. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see what we do with the quarterback position. I'm excited to see what we do with the offensive line. I'm excited to see what we do with the running back position. So it's just a lot of excitement right now for the Raider Nation, man. And there'll be some interesting stuff. You know, I don't think the quarterbacks and running backs don't report to a Saturday, so we'll see those guys then. But everybody, man, appreciate everybody that subbed, everybody that left a comment. If you didn't get your question answered here, make sure you hit that comment section down below. And yeah, brother.
Yeah, make sure to hit that like button and do all that good stuff. And my guy. Hey, Raider Smoke wants to end it on a high note. He said he's clowning, he laughing. He says In-N-Out even left Oakland. Damn. Bro. Yeah, man. In-N-Out doesn't shut down stores, man. If anybody's been to California or are aware of the franchise In-N-Out, man, they do not close out stores, man. They close down their business at all. They're always busy.
It's the first one. They don't say this is the first one.
This might be the first one, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But like I said, that's a whole different topic, man. My guy. Well, what did Kev say? You're wrong, Kev. Hey, Kev is always he's always throwing shots. Yeah, he's always throwing shots.
Kev was counting on Josh Jacobs, bro.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, like I said, we appreciate everybody coming through. On the way out, hit the like button, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Leave a comment down below. We'll read the comments. We'll respond. Till next time. Peace.
Great Pharaoh, the gift of Troy is a fabulous fabric from the land of the five rivers.
Believe that the greatness of the Raiders would be in its future.
Just win, baby.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.